supposed to do something?
I think they're ready for the magic box.
Oh.
That must be it. They saw it sitting here.
Okay. If you're new, this box is magic. Yeah.
Yep.
And it also helps us to tell a story for children and other people. So,
Well, let's see what's in it.
you want to look in there and see?
Oh, yes. It's my adventure supplies. Did you know that I'm going on an adventure this week?
I did not.
And I've got my lantern to light my way.
Okay.
And my compass to tell what direction I'm going in. And this even does Morse code, if I need to send a message, this light.
Okay. Let me take a look.
And then I've
Help
got
me.
binoculars. So I can see things really far away, like up to the choir loft.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, interesting.
And if I want to see things really close, I've got my magnifying glass. So I am ready for an adventure.
That's interesting because I have my adventure stuff in here too.
You do?
I do.
What?
Yeah. Got my journal, my pen. You know I carry this thing with me all the time, right?
I know, but why is that adventure supplies?
Whoa,
What kind of
whoa.
adventure is that?
What kind of adventure? Only the greatest adventure ever.
Oh, okay.
So you could go on a trip, or you could adventure
Yeah.
up a mountain.
Yeah.
You could travel to the bottom of the sea. Or you could travel inside your own soul.
Oh, that can be quite an adventure.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
And you don't always like what you find in there.
Yeah, well, but you can record it in your journal.
I can write it down and record it
Okay.
and go on an adventure where I try and find love or God or compassion or peace. I can go searching inside too, which makes me think, I see, we got the clicker in here, of a story of
Up there.
one of my favorite people, Henry. I don't know if you all know about Henry David Thoreau in our church. He's one of my favorite people ever. Was he a bear?
I don't think he was, but it makes for a good story if he's a bear.
Well, he was a Unitarian
Yes.
for a little bit, a long time ago. And there's a story about him that I really love that we read a lot at home called Henry Climbs a Mountain. One day, Henry, who was living in a cabin by himself in the woods for 2 years, 2 months, and 2 days, needed to go on a hike. He felt like he wanted to get out and explore, but he only had one shoe. One of them was being repaired at the shoemaker in town, so he set off and he was on his way to go there. But when he arrived in town, this guy named Sam, who was the tax collector, found him. And he said, "Henry, you haven't paid your taxes." And I don't know if any of you are in the same situation recently, but for those of you who don't have to do this, littler people, taxes are money that you give to the government to help build roads and schools and all sorts of things. But Sam found Henry and said, "You haven't paid your taxes. You got to give me the money or else I'm going to put you in jail." And Henry said, "I'm not giving any money to a government that allows slavery." Because when he was alive, slavery was legal in some states. And he said, "Well, I'm not paying." And Sam Staples, said, "If you don't pay, I'm going to put you in jail." And Henry said, "Then do it." And Sam said, "See, I'll do it." So they took Henry and they put him in jail. Here he is sitting and thinking to himself, what am I going to do in here? This is where we get metaphorical. He took out a crayon and he drew on the walls. He couldn't go on a hike for real while he was in jail. So he drew on the walls and drew a stream. He got in the stream and his feet got wet, and he drew a big mountain that he was climbing up. He was huffing and panting, and the air was getting thin, and he got to the peak of the mountain, and he saw another person at the top. The other person didn't have any shoes at all. And he asked him, "Where are you going, friend? You don't have any shoes." And the other person said, "I'm following the North Star. I want to be free." Henry told him, "Well, you can have my shoes." So he gave his shoes to his new friend. He started going back down the mountain, and the rocks were sharp, and there were thorns and brambles, and his legs were getting cut up and bloody, and he was stubbing his toes on the rocks. And he drifted off to sleep and found himself in that bed in jail. And Sam came and gave him a cup of coffee and said, "Congratulations, Henry, somebody paid your taxes for you." He said, "What does it feel like to be free?" Henry said, "It feels like coming down off of a very tall mountain." And he went back to his cabin to write in his journal.
What an adventure.
I know.
Wow.
See, that's the kind of adventure you can do by walking around or
Going inward.
going inside. And so, when you go to your classes today in church or after, or if you're staying in church, make it an adventure. See what you find if you go looking for love or peace or justice or freedom. And whoever you go home from church with today, tell them about that adventure, how hard it is. We like to sing our children and their teachers to Sunday school class. As they leave for their classes, we sing a blessing. The song is "Go Now in Peace," and the words are printed on the back cover of your hymnal.